So have you ever found yourself curious which of the gathering professions are going to bank you the most KAMAS possible? Well, I got some great news for you. In this video, I have pitted the Alchemist against the Farmer profession in a head-to-head combat, and I'm going to present to you the results both for the Echo server and the ILYZAELLE server. If you're excited to see who the winner will be, do me a quick favor and smack that like button, show your support. It will greatly help the channel out. Also, if you're new here and you like Dofus PVM tips, guides, and gameplay, consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications so you know exactly when my videos go live. All right, let's do this. All right, first things first, the winning profession will be based upon data that I have collected from both servers, as well as some of my personal opinions based upon things that I've learned about the professions and some pros and cons that weigh in there as well. But I will show you everything in this video. All right, so what can the two professions do? Well, the Alchemist can collect flowers and plants, of which there are 12 varieties, not including the rare versions, and they can craft dyes, potions, and dungeon essences, among a few other miscellaneous things in there. Farmers pretty much just gather cereals, of which there are 13, not including the rare variations. And they can craft breads, treats, and oils, again among a few other miscellaneous things, but that's the main things that they can craft. Both have resources spread out generously throughout many areas across the world of Dofus. It's also very common to find both on the same map locations. Both of these professions can also gain XP from gathering and crafting. And the last thing that I'll point out is both professions can actually do their harvesting in 3 seconds at each location. On a side note though, that applies to all gathering professions, not just these two, in case you didn't know. Now some things that are different between the two of these. Alchemist resources weigh 1 pod each, while the Farmer cereals weigh 2 pods apiece. Farmer resources are usually in larger quantities on a map versus the Alchemist plants and flowers. Most of the Farmer crafts require 3 resources or less, with only about 5 crafts requiring more than that, not counting any quest-specific recipes. Compare that to the Alchemist that has almost 50 recipes that require 4 to 8 resources to craft. On the flip side of that though, Alchemists also have considerably more recipes available than a Farmer. And one final difference between the two of these is the Farmer has 16 workshops located throughout the 12 worlds of Dofus versus 6 Alchemist workshops. All right, I have tried to break these professions down into 3 tiers. A low-level profession tier, which I'm calling ranges 1 to 50, a mid, which is from 51 to 150, and then the high level is I'm calling 151 to 200. That way you can kind of see the money potential that you can make depending on where you are in your profession level. I'm gonna pop a couple tables up here to show you how I came to the numbers that I did. Now I'm gonna go over my more consolidated results here in a minute, but this is just so you can see how I came to the conclusion that I did with the data that I did. So the first thing I did is I checked both Echo and ILYZAELLE markets to find the average price per 100 underneath each one of those categories that you're seeing. The categories I chose are the resource that you can gather, then I went to the bread and the potion for both the HP and the energy. I broke those up. You'll notice that they kind of stagger in the different levels in between each other. So I figured that's a good way to get a ballpark figure for those two professions. Now I realize that both of these professions can craft things outside of this list, but one, there's no way I could compare every craftable item by both professions in a semi-reasonable amount of time and effort. However, I will discuss some of the variations between these two professions and how it might affect the results here in just a minute. So who's the winner? That's what we're here for, right? All right, for best comma making potential for gathering resources only. You're not trying to craft them into anything, you just want to gather them, list them in the market. For the Echo server, Alchemist is what I would deem as the winner based upon that data. However, for the ILYZAELLE server, I would bank the Farmer as the clear winner on that one. Now, if you are both gathering and crafting, and you're going to be listing that stuff in the market, my vote, which is actually the same for both servers, is going to be the farmer profession, with the alchemist actually only slightly beating out the farmer at those low and mid-level tiers on the Echo server. I think overall, in the long haul, I think farmer has the best money-making potential out of these two professions. Now, it should be noted that there are no dungeon essences that are included in my calculations for the KAMAS, and some of those things can sell for a lot of money. But I do feel like a lot of the ones that are worth a lot of money also require very high level, low drop rate boss resources. Those boss resources a lot of times can be just sold as is for a pretty good chunk of money by itself. There's also the perceptor potions that can be crafted and can sell for a lot of money. But again, it's a very large level craft, and so I don't think most people are going to get the benefit of that specific potion unless they go through the process of getting all the way up there to the point of being able to craft it. A couple other reasons I choose farmer as the victor in this head-to-head combat is, one, it's easier to get large quantities of the resources that you want because those fields tend to have a lot gathered at a single location. Two, people tend to use multiple breads at a time versus a single potion at a time, which means that they're going to consume those 100 bread that they bought way faster than that 100 of potions that they bought. And three, most of the recipes there underneath the farmer require 3 resources or less, which makes it a whole lot easier to craft something that you can get into the market to sell. So what's your opinion on these two professions? What do you think is the right choice? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think I got it right? Do you think I got it wrong? Is there something I missed that you think really sways it one way or the other? I'd love to hear some feedback on that. Also, if you haven't already and you could smack that like button for me, it would greatly help the channel out. And don't forget, if you're new here and you don't want to miss out on any of my future head-to-head profession guides, among the many other things that I do on this channel, consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications so you know exactly when my videos go live. Until next time, you all be safe out there, and I'll see you on the next one.